Well, happy Mother's Day out there to all of you. Oh, wait, maybe except, snap. That is a lady in Australia being grabbed up and ripped away from her kid for being in the streets. Yeah. Now, we're definitely not going to play the full video here, but the fact that this is happening is pretty outrageous, to say the least. And that's why in this video, we are going to be talking about HR 6666. Yes, that's the actual number of it. And it is the testing, reaching, and contacting everyone, the Trace Act, that some politicians want to make a law since, of course, you know, getting traced, reached, and contacted by the federal authorities is such a great thing. You know, because how else are you going to enforce social distancing by violating social distancing? How else could you do that? Again, lots of absurd things are happening. Of course, you can't rely on the mainstream media during these difficult times. And that's why before getting into this video, I wanted to remind you the importance of taking care of yourself, your immune system, getting the proper sleep, exercising, eating right, getting some sun. And this is why I wanted to share this link, which I will put in the description below. And it is a report made by some medical doctors with their recommendations on vitamins, supplements, and ways you could boost the immune system in order to deal with and even implement some preventative measures when it comes to the sickness that the world is dealing with. I would definitely recommend you share this very comprehensive report with any medical professional or doctor that you know to get their opinion of it, and also to make them aware of some of the treatments and results that have been documented. Since, of course, there's also a lot of accusations about malpractice, this has been one of the most comprehensive guides that I definitely wanted to share with everyone. So yeah, if you know a doctor, definitely send them this and see what they say about it. But obviously, we're dealing with an extraordinary situation, to say the least. Since, of course, people talking about what I was just talking about are being banned left, right, and center. As, of course, we're dealing with a very serious situation. A situation now, according to many experts, was made and created by government. As now, many professionals are coming forward and explaining how the wet market theory about how this sickness started doesn't add up. This is, again, something we've been saying months ago. Go all the way back to our reporting in January and February, and we were saying, hey, there is a lot of evidence, some circumstantial, suggesting that this came out of the laboratory. Other news organizations that reported on this more extensively were banned, but now it looks like that is the most likely scenario here. Again, we don't know for 100% certainty, but the evidence is becoming stronger, suggesting that this is what happened. China, of course, is not doing themselves any favor by closing down the laboratory, and any other independent investigation or ability from anyone outside of the Chinese government to even investigate or see the findings of their, quote, investigation into how all of this started. They are hitting back with their own accusations and very strong words. After now even German intelligence came out saying that China asked the World Health Organization to cover up the outbreak of this sickness, which according to German intelligence cost the world 4 to 6 weeks to act properly. Now obviously a lot of the problems and the problem came from government. And now we have governments, after fumbling and making the problem worse, saying, don't worry, we can fix it if you just give us all of your rights. And that's essentially a brief synopsis of this HR 6666 bill, which would essentially, in many ways, eviscerate the Constitution. And before we get into this House resolution and exactly what is inside of it, it is also important to talk about the digital dollar, which originally was slated to be in the stimulus package bill, but was taken out last minute, was reintroduced by Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib in another failed resolution that was called the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, which would include a Fed digital dollar, something, of course, that we talked about extensively and criticized since, of course, it gives too much power and control of money to the state. This is, of course, something that the draconian, tyrannical government of China has already implemented, as they are even called by some globalists and elitists here in the United States as, quote, pioneers, as they, of course, launch their own national digital currency. Many mainstream media articles are advocating for the United States to do the same thing, with this article especially here saying, can the United States catch up? Some people saying it will challenge the dollar, and this is why we need to implement our own digital currency and give every little sovereign being of our existence when it comes to money to, of course, the federal government. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Not like already we have a horrible policy that has indebted us close to $25 trillion. Yes, just a few days ago, the U.S. national debt hit $25 trillion. And if it wasn't just for the digital dollar to worry about, we now, of course, have this House resolution that was introduced on the occult day of May 1st, is numbered 6666 for why the hell not? It was introduced by Democratic Congressman Bobby Rush, and the synopsis of the bill says that it will give $100 billion. There really isn't any giving by government. It's more stealing and redistributing and it's not really that free. It's not giving like you guys give on wearechange.org/donate, our website where you could get involved in this independent media organization in many different ways, supporting us through physical mail, crypto, or even waves without spending a single dime. It's not like you, amazing human beings, giving out of the goodness of your heart to continue to get free videos every single day from us. It's not like that. The government giving is them literally bringing thugs with guns to your house and saying, give me your gosh darn money, just like the mafia does. But anyway, I digress. The bill would give $100 billion to, quote, organizations. I wonder who those organizations would be. Wonder if they're going to be tied into the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation by any chance. That will be providing testing for this sickness, tracing of exposure to the sickness, or that doesn't mean it will happen. Probably won't happen because the government usually will run out of money with poor mismanagement, as they always do. Or it will, quote, provide services for individuals who are isolating at home, which it says the money could be used either to pay their staff or purchase personal protective equipment. And already there is a petition against this House resolution. Again, it's important to note here that this resolution is going to be voted upon. It is not law. There are still many things inside of the bill that will be changed, but already, probably just because of the number and because of the implications here, many people are, of course, talking about this bill and are signing petitions to repeal it. Now, one of the main criticisms of this House resolution is that it is very vague, uses very generalized language like related activities when it comes to tracking and tracing, and of course, surveillance. The surveillance aspect is something really worth looking into, since of course there have been many advertisements all throughout the country looking for, quote, contact tracers, and that there are new jobs available for also disease investigators. What they mean is individuals who will be hired to spy on your fellow Americans, to see where they're going, who they're contacting, who they're close with, where do they go, where they've been, and the government needs this power to, quote, keep you safe. Pretty similar excuse used by China and, of course, many other totalitarian governments throughout human history. This is all done to help you. We need power over you. We need to take away your sovereignty. We need to take away your rights because we know what is best. Trust us. And if you do, you failed history. Because if you look at history, there are very important lessons about government overreach and overstepping their balance of power and mostly abusing it. That's human history. If I could give you the thesis on the majority of human history, that is it. Now, when it comes to contact tracing, which of course states are building, quote, disease investigators, according to many medical professionals, it's already too late. Contact tracers and disease investigators are usually best at the early onset of a pandemic in order to find patient zero and to try to isolate individuals from spreading the sickness. Already, this late of stage in the spread of this, many people say this is absolutely pointless and won't have any effect at all. So the important question is, why are they doing it? Well, they're doing what government does best, and that is gobble up power. And now for all you Q people and Trump enthusiasts, if you think the Donald is going to save you here, you could definitely think otherwise, as even his own economic advisor came out and officially said there is no downside in implementing a national sickness tracking system. Yeah, no problem at all. The government knowing every little aspect of your life, of your existence, tracking it, databasing it, and having exact knowledge of everything about your human existence. Yeah, a big bloated federal bureaucratic authority having all of that power to itself. No, there's definitely no downside to that. And again, we're talking about the same federal authority under Donald Trump that has already reauthorized Patriot Act and other very controversial measures that already are implemented without this House resolution. Already, the federal government can track, trace, and database you, put you into their system without you committing a crime. Now, they just want to make it more official, and they want to rub it in your face. And make it official with the bill also connected to, of course, wider testing. And even if you're an individual who thinks this bill is necessary for some reason, you have to understand the longer-term tendencies of government is to abuse the powers that you have enabled them to have. Again, very vague language here that could be interpreted in many different ways. This House resolution still was not passed. There's going to be things introduced here, taken out of here. This, of course, will be something that we will be keeping a close eye on. And even though we have to take the situation that we are all in seriously right now, and that there are legitimate dangers out there, we also have to understand it is dangerous to empower government and to not stand up for your rights. I still think this should be done responsibly with consideration and empathy for everyone. I can't believe I'm actually also agreeing with Ben Shapiro on this topic. But we definitely need more civility, compassion, care for everyone all around when it comes to dealing with this particular situation that we are involved in. And in my own personal opinion, I think that's the rational thing to do. If you disagree, let me know why in the comment section down below. We don't censor any comments. We're here for the conversation, for the debate, for us to be able to talk to each other and figure this out together. Because again, you give up your authorities to someone else, you could damn sure bet your bottom dollar that most likely things won't get any better. That's my take on it. I'm only here because of you, and that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.